Hey guys, welcome back to another amazing episode of the Nikki ExotiKa show. Today we have the most amazing interview today. I'm so excited to have Brenda K Starr.
Hi, Nikki.
Hi baby, how are you?
I'm good, excited to be on the Nikki ExotiKa show.
Well, thank you for coming on my show. It means a lot to me.
Ditto.
I know all about you. I literally used to listen to your song on repeat. I still believe.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
I know. Crazy. So you've had such an incredible journey, and from pop hits to salsa and Latin music. What inspired that transition in your career?
I think it was just basically happened like it was because I was being released from an English label back in the day in the 80s. I started and around 2020 97, around 97 is when I got my final release from Sony. And it was difficult transitioning in terms of from one label to another. It's a very political business. We all know the music industry.
Yes.
And I just started writing songs. And from writing songs, I went over to Cannes, and Madame had a big music festival. And they were just checking out songs that artists were writing, producers were producing, and writers were writing. And somebody recognized me and said, "Are you Brenda K Starr?" And I was like, "Yeah." And they were like, "Well, why are you singing? And what are you up to?" And I was like, just basically trying to find my way if, English is going to be my route anymore because it had been so many doors closed after
Yeah.
leaving
Kind
Sony.
of felt like giving up.
Yeah, I did want to give up. And I guess God works in mysterious ways. Somebody recognized me.
People, places, times, you
Pe-
just
It's the right timing, the right
places.
place. And I was overseas, and when I was in Camidam is where I got offered a Latin record deal without knowing the language. I am Puerto Rican, but my whole life I spoke in English.
Same. I'm Puerto Rican too, and my mom and my grandma. I mean, like my grandma spoke Spanish to me. My mom spoke English to me, so I
Right.
grew up English speaking.
Exactly. So I didn't really master the language the way I should. I understood it, but I didn't speak it as
Did
good as I
anybody
should.
help you, like pronouncing
My mom did.
the way to sing it? Okay.
Yeah, my mom did. I literally got the songs in Spanish, but it was translated in English, and I could feel the track, the lyric, the emotion in the song,
Right.
and I had the lyrics translated so it would be able to help me,
Good.
live the song lyrically and be able to give the potential the song needed. And just going in the studio and recording a full Latin album and it winning 2 Latin Billboard awards, and
Wow,
opening
amazing.
doors for me, which is what made me do the transition, and knowing that there was still room for me to be able to grow and evolve.
Right.
And that's why I transitioned into Spanish.
Nice. And was your mom a singer too, or your dad?
My mom wasn't. My mom was a dancer and worked for a lot of the community and helping families and getting like Strikers Bay, and she was a housekeeper. She worked for the hospital as a translator, so she always was like a community activist and helped a lot of the people wanting to get help from the government, so she was always there to help.
It's like a
But
social worker.
she was like a social worker, but she didn't have her degree. With that being said, she just did it voluntarily, and after a while she became part of the neighborhood housing authority, started helping people place them in apartments, and a translator for them. But her real job on the side was working in the hospital as a translator, cleaning lady, anything she had to do to
She was a
hustle.
hustler.
But my father, on the other hand, was a musician. My dad had a group called the Spiral Staircase, and they sing that song, "I love you more today than yesterday, but not as much as tomorrow."
That was a hit. That was a hit on the radio.
So that was my dad, and that was about
Amazing.
a song about my mom and their relationship, and it became a big hit.
Yes.
But I think the love of the music and knowing it was in my family was watching my dad. But I think for me to really get the bug to want to be in the music was watching singers like Cher doing her show with Sonny. I loved all that theater music.
I was about to ask you,
the
what were
mixture.
your musical inspirations growing up, and do you still draw from them today?
I think Cher would be one of my inspirations in terms of glamour, in terms of the performance, in terms
That
of
bitch evolves,
yeah,
girl. Right? She
she's
looks amazing. She's
always did.
timeless.
She is timeless.
I mean, she's like Naomi Campbell. Like they don't age. I don't know what they're doing. Where the potion from, Death Becomes Her, girl, but I want to.
No, I mean, she just definitely does take care of herself. But I think one of my biggest influences that really I made me say, I want to do this. I want to be a singer, was watching Vicky Sue Robinson come out with Turn the Beat Around and just rhythmically how the music was. It was a mixture of dance, pop,
Yes.
Latin music all in one. And it just intrigued me. And I just listened to how her voice flowed with songs from A Fire and Desire with Rick James, and I just love the urban part of her voice. It's just the soulfulness. So she really was one of my biggest inspirations, down to Donna Summer.
I love Donna
And
Summer.
yeah, I've always been a
Hot
huge Donna
Stuff is
Summer
like
fan.
my favorite.
Yeah, so Hot Stuff was one of the biggest albums that really pushed me and gravitated me towards the dance pop field.
Did you find it hard? I'm a music artist too, and if I have found it so hard to try to find my sound. And like I started as electro because like I was inspired by Lady Gaga, and then I loved Madonna, and my whole thing was just pop, and then I got into pop, but now it's like I'm doing pop dance, and that's like my niche,
That's your niche.
because I'm not a Whitney, I'm not a Mariah, I'm a Britney, I'm
Right,
a performer,
right.
I'm a dancer, a singer.
Entertainer.
Exactly, I put on a good show.
I
Have
really don't.
dancers
I
on.
really don't think it's how high they go either, because I think a lot of singers that do have high registers and do lots of runs don't always have,
Yeah.
the for me, I think music evolves, but I feel like it's the emotion in the voice. It's not about how high you go. And me as a vocalist, I have a mid register. I'm a vocal. I mean, my vocals are like alto, soprano. I think I do well with belting, but I've never found myself to be the type of person that had to be up here with this.
Right.
Although a lot of my fans feel like, oh my God, you sound so great on this song.
Yeah.
You go so high. But I really don't have a wide register. I think most of it is
Same.
my emotions, and I love dance music, dance, pop, and salsa's always going to be part of me now, especially because of the the doors that have opened, and just the possibility is endless with Latin music for me. I've just visited so many countries
Do you feel like
overseas.
it's been more successful as a Latin artist
Um,
with the
I
genre?
do think so. I do
Yeah.
think so. I mean, I still believe it's a timeless song. What you see is what you get, over and over. Breakfast in
Was
bed.
there a Spanish version of
Like,
I
sorry?
Still Believe? Was there a Spanish
There
version?
was a Spanish version of I Still Believe. I did it in salsa, and when I did it in salsa, I put it on the Plátano Pacha Records album, and yeah, I think I did put it on one of their albums. But I did redo that song because I figured, why not pay homage to what got me started. But I think being in the Latin industry, I feel like I got the recognition a lot more. But then again, I can't really say more than I Still Believe, because I Still Believe is so timeless that it still plays and so many artists are still covering
true.
it, and it's still considered a staple song.
And that was a
So
pop song.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I think both. I don't really have a preference.
So you've collaborated with so many amazing artists over the years. Who was the most unexpected or fun collaboration that you've worked with?
I think not vocally in terms of a duet or anything like that. But I think in terms of production, working with Yumir Deodado. Yumir Deodado was a Brazilian slash Portuguese producer who's worked with Cool in the Gang, and he's done a lot of jazz albums. But I've always loved how he's produced, and just seeing what he did with Cool in the Gang and how successful he was with that.
Yeah, I loved Cole.
I
was
just
such a fan.
feel like he was one of my favorite producers to work with.
Interesting.
In terms of doing a duet, um, I I really could just say maybe working with Tito Nieves and Victor Manuel, which was a trio, and it was a song called Por Ese Hombre. So it was a Pimpinela song, which is an old school song that came out with that group. And when I did do the production and then end up going into the studio to cut the vocal, that by far was one of the best songs I could say that I was ever given the opportunity to work on. Because originally I was just going in to cut the demo and they wanted to see how I sounded.
Right.
And
And you
they end
never
up giving
know,
me a
right?
deal
Like you
after
came
with
in there and
Sony.
you were just, you never know what to expect.
No.
That's why, you know, anybody watches this, and this is like living testament, is that when you do something, you go all the way. If you have an audition, or if you're asked to come to a job interview, look your best, be your best, you know, do your best in a sense. And you never know, like, you know, what opportunity or what doors can open from that
Right.
moment, you know?
Mhm.
So that's why I tell people is like, you can't go just, oh, it's whatever, it's just another job, you know? Like, when you're about, if you're trying to get on a TV show or anything, and in a sense, if you're gonna meet producers, you wanna look your best, you wanna be your best, you wanna be energetic, you want them to see a star, and you're most likely you're gonna book the job. And you might even go from being a supporting actor to a lead, you know? And just like as a song, you never knew, you could be backing vocalist and all of a sudden to a lead vocalist
Exactly.
like that, you know?
And it happens that way. I think that's what happened with me. I was called out for a Volkswagen commercial, and I was originally just supposed to go there because the names ended with star, and Volkswagen's a 5-star vehicle, etc. So I ended up going out to film the commercial, and I wasn't even supposed to talk, but I guess feeling like in the moment and being who I was and energetic, outgoing, they were like, Brenda, why don't you say this? So I end up going from just being part of the commercial to being one of the principal roles in the commercial. So I believe if you just manifest working harder at your craft, you still have so many endless possibilities.
Exactly. That's amazing, and that's great advice to give people.
Yeah, I think so.
So, have you ever had a performance that didn't go as planned, but it ended up being unforgettable?
Have I ever had a what?
Did you ever have a performance that didn't go as planned? Maybe like a couple things like went all right, you know, like not messed up, you know, and then it just was the best show ever.
I think there was one in Puerto Rico. I was performing in Old San Juan, and I was just so into like the music and the crowd, and it was just so overwhelming to the point that I just started dancing, and I was dancing and I turned and I spun and whipped my hair, and I realized that my dress was pulled to one side and I had a nude bra.
Okay.
And
Well, at least
one side was nude and then the other had my material. So it was almost like the whole piece of the dress slid to the side, and all I could remember
you didn't
was
realize anything.
my management, your dress. My husband was like, your dress, your dress. You got to fix the top. And I was like, oh my God. I did make it to the cover of the Old San Juan newspaper. Brenda K Starr
my goodness.
does so good, she completely takes it off. And
Well, that's
so,
awesome. I mean, it's
yeah,
fun. It's
I
a
wasn't
fun
looking for the
headline, right?
attention, but yeah, that's an unforgettable moment for me. That
That sounds
did
like
happen
it.
to
I would
me.
have loved to be there for that
Oh my
one.
goodness. I was mortified.
I was like,
but
Brenda, I would probably ran on stage to fix you.
Oh
real
my
quick,
goodness.
you know,
I
on
know
that
my
girl.
husband wanted to do that at that time. But I think I just basically pulled it over and I'm like, well, at least they're mine.
Right.
Because they were mine.
Yeah.
You know, and then at that time, I think I wasn't ready to do a reduction, but I was definitely very well
You were
endowed.
busty.
Yeah, I was very busty until I went and did a reduction. But that was one of the times that I was like, oh my God. Like my boob was completely out, but thankfully everything was covered by the nude bra. But it still was
Talking
showing.
about reduction, you know, I'm the queen of plastic surgery. I love to get into it with women. See, look at me. I'm trying to do a top of the
That's
show.
okay. You still look good.
So I always like to get into it with, you know, the women that I interview is what do they do or what do you want to do? Because it's no secret here. I ask everybody, and everybody's pretty honest with it.
Yeah.
What have you done?
So I have done Botox. I have done a reduction. I have done fat deposits where I took it out of here, out of my
She's talking
my
about VVL,
sides.
guys.
And instead of putting implants in my butt, because I've always been had a nice booty.
Yeah.
But after having kids, it starts the flank goes down and it seems flat. So under my muscles, I did, I guess, fat transfer under my
BBL,
buttocks.
Brazilian butt
I guess it's a
lift,
BBL, right? And I've done what is it called?
Butt cupping.
Butt cupping. I did it for a year straight because the fat turns into, the transfer can turn into cellulite. You have to work out. I mean, fat has to eventually dissipate. So for me, I didn't want anything fake put in my foreign in my body. And hence why I did a reduction, because I just wanted my regular boobs. I just wanted them tight and comfortable, and something where I could wear really.
Then you could do that. You know, some people that don't have it, then they got to put an implant in there.
Yeah.
But girl,
I just feel like I
y'all
just was
haven't
nervous.
seen her body. I saw her back there. I was helping you with your makeup and your lash, but like she's like, oh my God, I need help. I was like, I'm a makeup artist. I'll help you.
I know.
When I saw her body, I was like, damn girl, she's giving me a tranny body. But I love it because it's like this, like the Coke bottle.
But I think I do attribute it to working out, because I think when I don't work out, I just feel like I don't feel good about myself. But I felt like a lot of butt cupping helped me. Butt cupping keeps your butt nice and firm, but you have to maintain it. If you don't, it's like everything else. It's going to turn to fat and you're still going to look flabby. So, I mean, listen, more power to whoever wants to do it. I definitely want to do this. I want to do, it's like lift here.
Yeah, mid facelift.
It's like a mid facelift, and my eyes. I mean, I'm almost 60, so
you're ready.
I'm not against it. Like I said, I have done Botox before. I have done, once I did my lips.
So you want the snatch right here?
Yeah, I kind of here. Listen, anybody wants to come hook a sister up.
To get it here is the temporal lip.
Yeah.
They do a temporal lip to pull you here.
But I don't want something that's gonna make me not look like me. I just want to look rejuvenated.
Little snatch.
And I've done the things with the micro bleeding and all that stuff.
Microneedling and all that.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it.
It's very temporary.
It's temporary, but that's why I said I'm okay with aging gracefully. But I definitely want one thing done, and that's just
whenever you're ready, girl.
You try to get my gels.
You ready? Hit me up, girl. I'm gonna take you to the best doctor ever.
All right. Well, I'm a chicken, so I'm not gonna be ready for a while.
I'll hold your hand. I'll be there. I'll help you through it. So, how was your life outside of music influenced your artistry over the years?
I mean, it's been tough. It's not the easiest job to have. I mean, you're as good as your last hit. We all know that.
I know that.
In this business, it's really who you know, what connection you have. I've been navigating my career most of my life on my own. I mean, I went from the best managements, so my manager passed away, Buddy Allen. I had Dick Scott management. I've worked with Sony Music, Tommy Mottola. I've worked with Gerald Busby. I've worked with Jerry Greenberg.
Mariah.
But yeah, and Mariah has worked with me as well. Yeah, a lot of people bring her up. I mean, she did background for me. She came in as a background singer, and I auditioned her. And I attribute it to the success of getting her started.
Did you know that she was gonna blow up the way she did?
I mean, listen, I knew she was talented, and I believe her first album, second album, really just kind of set a tone for something different, not expecting someone to have such a soulful voice as her, and then being a white girl, everybody was like, oh my God, she sounds like a sister. But she is biracial. But with that being said, I heard the voice. I'm the kind of person that I don't have a problem finding talent, helping, because when I was raised, it was always give a helping hand, look out,
like your mom,
never be jealous.
A lot about your mom's input into you is she's a helping lady and she helped people, and you grew up with that.
Right, I grew up with that, with the kind heart that my mom has. So helping her, it worked out for helping her become successful. I mean, and it didn't hurt to be married to the president of the record company. You know what I'm saying? So it's like Celine Dion. Her husband at the point, Renee, put the house up at the mortgage. He mortgaged the home to support her career. So for me, I think, doing what I do and navigating my career, everything I do in terms of my career, I pay out for it. When it comes from publicists to producers to agents to managers, I make everybody gets their payment in terms of their fees, and I pay people to support me, to help me with my craft. But I mean, I've had the gift of being on Sony, MCA, Atlantic Records. I'm not gonna say that I've had a shabby career. I've been blessed, and I'm happy where I am, and I'm still
working. I heard you have a new song coming.
Yeah, I actually just finished a song I wrote called Set Me Free, which is on the new English record. And I've been writing for the last, all my life, I've been a writer since at least 13, 12, 13. But for the last 2 to 3 years, I've been heavily writing this English project that I'm working on because I've been doing side stuff for so many years, since
So to go back.
97.
Yeah.
But I think this new project that I'm working on is it's something near and dear to my heart because I think it gets just goes to show it doesn't matter how old you are, as long as you're doing what you
What you
love
love and what
and
makes you happy
what
and what
makes you
makes
happy.
other people happy, you
Yeah.
know, and just putting on the music and they could clean their house and or drive down the road maybe after a breakup or whatever. What kind of do you have like a very wide range of your new album coming out? Your new, you know, your new album that's coming out, like how what kind of vibe can people get from it?
So I think on the English album, I think it's more of like a dance pop feel. You
Really?
have top 40.
Okay.
Um, Kind of Set Me Free kind of gives me that vibe of I don't know, I said like Dua Lipa. Is that how you
I
say it? Yeah,
I
like
heard it.
I
Yeah, I
love
think a
that
couple
vibe.
awesome remixes to that is
Yeah.
gonna be good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
get the
very
remixes.
dance, very crossover. Um I took I Miss You, which was a climax song, and I redid that song and I made it into a dance version, and I also did a ballad version. I am in the studio right now currently writing more stuff. I have Always Remember, The Only One I Love. So there's a lot of stuff that I'm putting on this new project, and I'm just gonna, you know, put all the collaborations together, all the productions,
Mhm.
and make it one full album. But the new single is Set Me Free. And we were looking for an October release, but I think we're gonna go more for either November or January, just because Christmas is solely Christmas music on radio, Spotify, etc. A lot of the music that they play is Christmas around
Yeah.
Christmas time. So I don't want it to take away from the promotion.
Okay. Got it. And if you could perform anywhere in the world tomorrow, where would it be?
If I was to perform anywhere around the world tomorrow, where would it be? I honestly, I've always wanted to go to Brazil.
Yeah.
I've
Me
not
too.
been to
I've never been
Brazil,
there.
and I think the Brazilians love I Still Believe, and they've never had the chance to see me sing it.
Mhm.
And I know they've seen Mariah do her rendition of Homage to Me, but
Yeah.
I think just to give the Brazilian
To get the
fans
you
an
know the original
opportunity.
artist. You hear that, Brazil? Book
Yeah,
Brenda K Starr.
yeah, Brazil.
So, okay, salsa, pop, or ballad. What mood are you in when you start your day?
I would say when I start my day, obviously it would be salsa, upbeat,
Okay.
energy, ready to go because I go to the gym to work out and I put my earbuds in and I'm always trying to get that energy up.
Got it.
But I think to wind down, I think I usually in the evening would leave
Ballads.
ballads and just
Like a
something to
glass of
just,
wine.
yeah, just a
Just sit
glass of
back and
wine and
relax.
and a nice ballad can do it for me. But starting my day off would definitely be something upbeat with energy, so I just don't come down, start a day off on such a low.
So, last and final question. What song do you wish you had written? I know it's a very awkward
I
question.
wish I wrote the whole I Still Believe. I wish I did. I mean, the
You
bridge,
wish you wrote the whole
yeah,
song.
I didn't write it
Who
was
wrote it?
written by Antonina Armada. So, and I don't
Do
know, I
you?
just think
Okay,
it's a hit.
you're
When I heard it as a demo, I thought it was a great song.
so you're saying that you could have probably wrote it better in a sense if you wanted to write the song. You
Oh no, I don't think I could have wrote it better. I thought I just would have wanted a hand in writing more of the song and
more.
just being more involved with the
I would have
publishing.
loved to hear what you would have wrote. Like, do you have something like in like one of the verses like you would have wrote something totally different?
Well, I mean, when I got the demo, the bridge was, "If we believe that true love never has to
Yes.
end," and then I just kind of changed it around. "We must know that we will love again." So I just kind of took that special part right there and kind of made it my own. But
Mhm.
I've just imagine, like in the well, that's no matter what the second verse, and I Still Believe. I wish I wrote that. Like
Okay.
I just feel like the first verse was beautiful, but the second verse was just amazing in
Could
the
you ever do a
bridge.
second release and just make it?
Each day of my life, filled with all the joy I could find. You know that I am not the desperate type. And just hearing the words about how important it is to want love, and each day think of that perfect person, and just for someone to be so creative in the writing, and where her head was at the moment when writing it, just it almost felt like it was a perfect song for me when I went in and dabbled in changing it up some, because I was having an experience with a first love.
Right.
So I knew what the breakup was about. So I felt like if I would have maybe put a twist to some of the lyrics and made it more my own,
Correct.
it would have been great, because then I
You
would have
would have
still owed some
resonated
of the
from it. It would have been more
it
meaningful.
would have been more me. But to be honest with you, even what she did write was so much what I was going through as a young girl, was my first love, and still having hope. And I think that that's why it resonated so well for me, because around that time when I got I Still Believe, it was my first heartbreak. So I think that's why.
That's how I feel like with the guy that I thought was like the love of my life that I was gonna marry, and like when I hear that song, it's like my heart breaks. Even hearing you sing live in front of me, I'm like,
But I think a lot of people that hear I Still Believe are like, oh my God, like that song was when I was in junior high school and I broke up with this one, I broke up with that one. But then a lot of people that hear it now and hear the new version or the updated version that Mariah did, paying homage to me, I think the younger generation listen to her thinking she's the original singer.
Right.
But then the parents are like, no, this girl sang it when she was younger.
you did the
Than
original.
Mariah. She's the original.
She's the cover artist
Yeah,
for that
yeah,
song.
she covered it. But yeah, I mean, listen,
Listen, you've had a very
I didn't get the
successful career.
publishing, but I did get the performing rights, and I still get paid on it.
And
Thankfully,
you
God is
said-
great.
So book Brenda K Starr. What is? Tell everybody your Instagram, how can people find you?
So on the Instagram, it's official Brenda K Starr. On TikTok, it's Brenda K Starr, STARR. Facebook, it's official Brenda K Starr. And if anybody's looking to book, they can go to the team at BrendaKStarr.com. I do corporate events, I do private events, I'm touring. I'm getting ready actually to head to Cancun, Mexico, November the 2nd, because I'm going to be out there that week performing for Cancun MTV Live with downtown Julie Brown.
She does bar mitzvahs, weddings, birthday parties, all of it,
Absolutely.
anniversary parties. I love you, girl. Thank you
Thank
so
you for
much for
having me.
coming on my show. And yes, I cannot wait to hear more from Brenda K Starr. And that is another amazing episode of the Nikki ExotiKa show. I hope you guys enjoyed. Kisses.
Just so narcissistic, so narcissistic.